Good evening, folks. How are you? Will everybody please be seated? Thank you. Especially the guys in the back. Quiet down. Okay. It begins this way. Adequate notice of this June the 27th, 2013 meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by posting written notice and agenda of this meeting on the bulletin board in the municipal building at 1000 Route 10, Whippany, Township of Hanover, and by hand delivering, mailing, or faxing such notice and agenda to the following newspapers: Hanover Eagle, Morris County's Daily Record, the Star Ledger, and by filing same with the Township Clerk. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Slager?
Here.
Mr. Faramasa?
Here.
Mr. Bruno?
Here.
Mr. Capola?
Here.
Mayor Francine?
Here. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all please rise, those that may, and join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Once again, we have a very nice event tonight, a very nice honor, and it's always wonderful here, or the Township Committee, to be able to recognize and award our youngsters for the accomplishments that they've gotten in sports here. And tonight is no exception, and we're really pleased to have with us tonight in recognition for the Whippany Park High School Wildcats, champions in the 2013 Morris County softball tournament, and that's terrific, ladies. I mean, absolutely. What I'd like to do, we have some gifts for you. We have some things we'd like you to take with you, but before that, I know our Director of Recreation, Bob Bruno, would like to say a few words. So, Bob, I'm going to turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Yes, we are honored to recognize these young ladies and their championship season here in 2013. I am thrilled to see all the seniors with us. They had graduation last night, which probably didn't end until about 5 or 6 a.m. So what I'm wondering is, where are all the underclassmen? They were invited also. If anything, I expected that the seniors might not make it, but we're thrilled to have you here, girls, and thank you. I know you had a very long evening last night, but once again, congratulations on a great achievement. I know playing in Morris County, where there are many good teams and so many very big schools here in Morris County, winning the tournament is really quite an honor, but it's become a habit at Whippany Park. I think this is probably, what, the 10th Morris County championship, and I think that's the most of any school in Morris County, so you're to be commended on that accomplishment. The group of seniors in particular, between last year and this year, and I hope my math is correct, but I think the record is 52 wins and 8 losses. Is that about right? Somewhere in that neighborhood? Whoa. I think that's pretty close. Wow. Which is really tremendous. It's a real testimonial to the coaches, but especially the girls and some of the senior leadership. It's a team effort, and one of the things that I want to make note of, I know some of the seniors in particular set a goal to win the county championship this year. You've won the conference. That becomes old hat. You won the state championship last year, but I know there was a real specific goal to win the county championship this year, which makes it that much more commendable. And one of the things that I'll encourage you, I'm sure you got a lot of advice last night on getting a job and a career that you really love, et cetera, but when you have goals like that and then you ultimately achieve them, perhaps it encourages you to set even more goals. So the one little bit of advice I'll give is to write those goals down as you go. Maybe you did that this year with the goal to win the championship, but write them down, career, whatever it might be. Have a house on the beach by the time you're 35 years old. Whatever those goals are, if you write them down, you'll find that you'll strive to achieve them and accomplish them.
Oceanfront.
Oceanfront, yeah, which might be Whippany before too long. Who knows? So it's a tremendous team accomplishment. There were some individuals that were recognized. Maybe I'll just make note of them since I wrote them down, and if I walk up front and don't have my notes, undoubtedly I'll forget some things here. But starting with the Group 1 all team, maybe you can just wave when we recognize you. Group 1 all state, we had, is Sam Allay here? Sam's not here. Alexa Cozzarelli, Group 1, All-State. Way to go, Alexa. The first team for Group 1, Jen Sanislow and Courtney Simon. Way to go, girls. And then the All-County, All-Morris County team, Sam Malaya, who couldn't be here, Jen Sanislow and Courtney Simon. The daily record, we had honorable mention, Alexa Cozzarelli, Ashley Balot. Ashley's barely awake. Rachel Grabowski. Is Rachel here? She's only a freshman, undoubtedly be a leader going forward, and Sam Malaya. And then first team in the daily record, both Jen Sanislow and Courtney Simon again, so tremendous season, girls. One final individual accomplishment, and then we'll get you your certificates and your T-shirts. Undoubtedly, you want to get home and get to bed. The player of the year in both the daily record and the Star Ledger, Morris County Player of the Year, Jen Sanislow. Congratulations, Jen. Tremendous accomplishment, great articles in both papers, or great article in both papers. For individual achievements, really as a team leader, but the individual goals were recognized as well. So tremendous job, girls, congratulations. And now maybe the mayor will assist me in handing out the
Absolutely happy
certificates
to.
and T-shirts.
In my honor, give you my same statement with all these shirts. Don't wash them in hot water.
Don't wash them in hot water. Let's see, we've got, first we'll, perhaps we can ask the coaches to come up and they can assist us. Coach Callahan and Coach Yanada, if you would come up and join us, please. Sure. Congratulations. Congratulations. Great to see you, Coach. Paul, who's going to be getting married soon. Another congratulations. I'm glad you took the time to join us this evening. Ashley Malott.
You got a choice here, medium or just small.
Wow.
You can show everybody what the shirt's at.
Ooh.
Stay up here, we'll get a team picture. Cozzarelli, come on up.
Lexo.
Those aren't real tattoos, are they? Your mother would never allow that.
That is correct.
Medium, you got it.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
This is so
Kimberly Clavin.
Small, there you go, all right.
Ashley Lobel.
Medium's Medium's not a big mover. We're going medium.
It's not a big.
Amy Rehas. Come on up.
Nicely done. Very good. Medium, large, small.
You can tell the seams not turning this way. Yeah, your seams are working on training.
Courtney Simon. Come on.
Maybe not Courtney.
And last but not least, once again, the Morris County Player of the Year, Jen Sanislow. And medium, last but certainly not least, our coaches, once again, Ms. Nicole Yanada. Oh, they did?
They did. Tighten up for photo op. Anyone who would go. Yeah, the girls in front.
Come on, you've done this before. Right, they should know. They have little X's where they usually stand.
All right, very good. They all fall asleep.
Go on, Joe. All right, I get to go. Yeah, I got one.
He's gonna. Yeah.
Welcome to stay, ladies.
I'd leave by you. Okay, I'll give the young ladies a few moments to get themselves off. All right.
Ready for
All right, gentlemen, on our agenda tonight, and the reason you see half our police force in the back of the room is a wonderful honor. In addition to our police force, Eric Matthew Preach, and we're going to be swearing Eric in tonight. And Eric, if you'd come forward, and I'm going to do your swearing in. How's that? Okay. George, you want to join me? Okay.
Mayor, is Father like to hold the Bible, if at all possible? And his mom? Mom?
Your unofficial official.
Yeah, just a bubble. I want to think it's got the dirty look.
Hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. Okay, and repeating after me. Once he has his glasses, if he's repeating after you easier. It's much easier when I can see what he's repeating. Oh my God. Okay. I, Eric Matthew Peach.
I, Eric Matthew Brock.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the constitutions of the state of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to same
to same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of police officer. All the duties of the office of police officer. Right. According to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help you God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. You're going to be a proud addition to our force.
Thank you very much.
He even got his name right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, all the best. Well, congratulations and welcome aboard.
Can I just say a few words? I'd like to add something, Eric.
Did he sign that? He doesn't have to. He already did it.
I just wanted to mention something for the benefit of, well, obviously folks, everybody has left, but folks that will be watching this, that Eric actually started his career on the Roxbury Police Explorer Program where he achieved the rank of captain. He also graduated in the 80th basic training class at the Police Academy and received a Certificate of Merit Award, which in the opinion of the class members, displays his quality of leadership and his exemplary performance in law enforcement. And he actually grew up in Chester, still resides there, I understand. Went to West Morris High School and has his bachelor's degree from Centenary College. And very active in the volunteer emergency in Chester and as an active trainer. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Thank you, fellas. Thank you, Chief.
Pleasure.
Who's watching Hanover?
Everybody is.
And everybody does.
Everybody's watching.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay. All right, gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to open the meeting to the public for any items not appearing on the agenda. A motion to open. So moved. Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the floor is open. Anyone who would like to address the Township Committee at this time can do so from the podium, giving us your name and address for the record.
Good evening. I'm Judy Monza. I live at 22 Countrywood Drive. Been there for 30 years. The reason that I'm here tonight is because of an incident that happened about 2 weeks ago in front of my home, which has distressed me greatly, and it has to do with the safety of Countrywood Drive and the roads that surround it. Just to give you a little bit of information, and please, I'm not the public speaker in my house, so I'm very, very nervous. My car was parked in front of my home, and at about 5:35, a gentleman coming down Countrywood headed north hit the car with such force that it jumped the curb, was hit a second time, hit my shrubs, and ended up sideways in Countrywood Drive. The accident itself, although very upsetting because the car was a total loss and there was some property damage, has me extremely concerned about the public safety of those of us who live between Hendricks and Malapartis. We have no sidewalks. We have to walk in the street. The kids ride their bikes in the street, skateboards. Moms walk their strollers in the street. I walk my dog in the street. If I had been out at my normal time, I would have been in front of the house at the time that gentleman came down Countrywood. I may not have been here today. If the woman coming up Countrywood was a little bit faster, she would have been hit by my car, which was sent sideways into the street. I know that in the last 2 weeks, the township has put a sign across the street from my home that says the speed limit is 25. There's a bunch of them on Countrywood Drive. Tonight, when I walked my dog and was coming down Countrywood, I noticed that you now have the sign that lights up the speed as people are coming down the street. In the short amount of time that it took me to get from Locust, which is pretty much towards the top of Countrywood, to where that sign is now posted, I witnessed cars lighting that sign up anywhere between 27 and 43 miles an hour. One gentleman who was at 43 miles an hour never hit his brake when he was coming down that hill. The street, over the 30 years that I've lived there, has become congested with cars that cut through, trying to avoid Ridgedale, trying to avoid Malapartis, trying to avoid whatever. Those of you who may live in the Trailwood section, you see it as they go through Forest Way and Poplar and the rest. I'm not sure what you can do. I think that the speed limit needs to be enforced by the police department. I know you've installed the speed humps that are along McNabb, and I know that that helps slow things down. I don't know if sidewalks are a consideration in the future for the rest of Countrywood Drive. But my husband, who you know, who can calculate just about anything under the sun, did a calculation for me because he knows how upset I am about this. It's approximately 300 feet from Hendricks to the front of my house. If you're driving at 35 miles an hour down Countrywood, which is 10 miles over the speed limit, you have approximately 6 seconds by the time you hit Hendricks to make a decision, a life-saving decision, if you're in front of my house and you have to avoid someone or something. If you're coming down the road at 50, which let's say will never happen, but if you're at the top of that hill and you never brake, you can be doing 45 by the time you hit my house. It takes less than half of that to make a decision, to avoid someone who might be in that street. It's a serious situation. It's getting worse. In the last couple of years, including the accident that was in front of my house, I know of 2 others. One where property was taken out, mailbox, lawn, fire hydrant, telephone pole. That was a couple of houses up. Then we had an accident where someone was speeding down Countrywood and they ended up in a home at the bottom on Malapartis. We've all been very lucky. No one's gotten hurt. No one's had to have a hospital visit or worse. So I'm asking you tonight to please consider doing something about Countrywood Drive, some of the other streets that are in the area, to please have the police force enforce the traffic, 25 miles per hour on Countrywood, 35 miles per hour on Malapartis, and the streets that are around. And if in fact people are cutting through and they're racing through, then they should be made to know that they can't do that in our town. Thank you.
I think that, I think your comments are well understood. We're very familiar, most of the Township Committee is very familiar with the fact that since the Country Woods area now has the Forest Way and other streets that are being used as cut-throughs to American Way, for those that are going in that direction to 202, they use that as a shortcut to avoid portions of Ridgedale Avenue and Hanover Avenue, et cetera, going in that way. So Trailwoods, once that was completed, that became seems to be the route of choice. And usually when they're taking the route of choice, they're late. And I think it was rather insulting to yours truly when you can be passed while coming up McNabb. I thought that was the height of it at one point. But in any event, our police department, our Department of Public Safety is aware. We have taken some precautions, as you know. We did put speed bumps installed on McNabb, lower portion. And I have to tell you, it is effective. It is working. You can't get up to 50 miles an hour between the speed bumps, so it checks your speed there. The other thing that we did on Forest Way to keep the speed down, oddly enough, it might be psychological or not, is we striped it. We put the yellow center stripes on it as to designate 2 lanes. So the driver attempting to stay in the lane has got to control his speed. So that was an assist. I think what we can do, what we should do, and the chief is sitting right here with me, is have our traffic control officer review it, take a good look, make some recommendations to the Township Committee. I don't know that maybe speed bumps aren't yet the answer there too. We're using them successfully on McNabb. I don't know that we can't expand the program. That's a downhill run from Country Woods. We all travel it. It's a downhill run. And you do have to be careful of your speed. I'm familiar with some of the accidents that you brought to my attention. One of them, I'm afraid to say, was a DWI, but that's going to happen. In any event, Chief, duly noted, and let's take a look at that and maybe make some recommendations for the neighbors and for the Township Committee as to what a next step would be. Okay, thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. We'll do what we can. Okay. Does anyone else from the public like to be heard at this time? Hearing none, seeing none. Joe, nothing? Yeah, all right, maybe later. Oh, well, yeah, that could beat my time, maybe. All right.
Motion to close.
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Mrs. Administrator, Assistant
Okay.
Administrator, there you go.
Okay. May I have an approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of May 8th and May 23rd, 2013?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. You got it.
Okay, now I have a motion by Committee Man and Director of Planning, John Faramasca, to move the public hearing date and consideration for adoption of Land Use and Development Ordinance Number 18, 2013, as set forth below, from Thursday evening, September 12th, 2013, to Thursday evening, September 26th, 2013, at 8:30 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the ordinance appears on the agenda of the Township Committee. The ordinance will be considered for public hearing and final adoption in the main meeting room, and at that time, any person interested in being heard concerning the ordinance will be given an opportunity to speak. The ordinance is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 166 of the Code of the Township, entitled Land Use and Development Legislation, by changing the classification of lots 4 and 5 in Block 2902 from the R-25 zone to the B-P zone by adding convenience stores and motor vehicle service stations as a conditional use in the BP zone, by amending the BP zone regulations, by amending the sign regulations for gasoline service stations, and by amending the access regulations for non-residential uses. May I have a second, please?
So moved. Oh, second.
Yeah, it was John that made the first.
John made the motion.
Yeah, he made the motion.
Second.
Okay. Roll call, Committeeman Schleifer,
Aye.
Committeeman Faramasca,
Aye.
Committeeman Bruno,
Aye.
Committeeman Campola,
Aye.
Mayor Francioli.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, now I have ordinance 20-2013 for introduction. An ordinance of the Township Committee amending and supplementing ordinance number 15-2013 in Chapter 61 of the Code of the Township entitled Salaries and Compensation, Personnel Policies, which chapter establishes regulations and rates of compensation for the officers and employees of the Township of Hanover. Be it further resolved that said ordinance shall be further considered for final passage at the meeting of the Township Committee of the Township of Hanover on the 11th day of July 2013, 8:30 o'clock in the evening, prevailing time, at the municipal building in said Township of Hanover, at which time and place all persons interested shall be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the clerk be authorized and directed to advertise said ordinance in full with the notice of introduction thereof in the Morris County Daily Record according to law. May I have a motion for introduction,
So
please?
moved.
Second.
Want a roll call on it?
Oh, yeah. May I have a roll call, please? Committeeman Schleifer,
Aye.
Committeeman Faramasca.
Aye.
Committeeman Bruno.
Aye.
Committeeman Capola.
Aye.
And Mayor Francioli.
Aye.
Yeah.
Next portion of business, ladies and gentlemen, is the consent agenda of resolutions. Are there any questions from the Township Committee concerning any of the resolutions? Hearing none, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, Committeeman Schleifer,
Aye.
Committeeman Faramasca.
Aye.
Committeeman Bruno,
Aye.
Committeeman Capola.
Aye.
And Mayor Francioli.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, that clears the agenda. The Deputy
Ladies
Chairman.
and gentlemen, I took the resolutions by consent agenda, but just for everybody's information, under resolutions, under personnel, it's the appointment of a seasonal personnel for B-Metal Pool, Fireworks Display, Summer Playground. The second one is authorization, renewal of an alcoholic beverage license for 2013 license term. Authorization number 3 is reduced B-Metal swimming pool membership, resident and non-resident fees beginning August the 1st, 2013 through September 2nd, 2013. And finally, providing for the insertion of special items of revenue in the municipal budget, State of New Jersey Alcohol Education, Rehabilitation, and Enforcement, and the County of Morris Municipal Alliance. Those were the resolutions. Okay. All right. Anything other further consideration? You're done?
I'm done.
You have
That's
nothing
it.
on that? All right, that's good. Is there any other comment from the Township Committee at this time?
Yeah, I just, for Committeeman Faramasca, if I understand though, that the R40A discussion takes place at the first Township Committee meeting in September, right?
That's correct.
And the quick check discussion takes place at the second meeting in September.
That's
Because
correct.
that wasn't noted here tonight.
That's correct.
It just said we just moved it.
Right.
Okay, so just so everybody understands.
Which is which?
The R40 discussion takes place in September at the first committee meeting.
The area known as the slaughterhouse.
Right,
That second reading will be done on September 12th.
right.
The
That's
evening of
that's-
September 26th, that Thursday evening, will be the area known as the potential gasoline station convenience store. And the reason for the rationale for this is to provide members of the public who are interested in these areas ample time to voice their perspective, as well as members of the planning board who have worked on these areas for a number of years to voice their perspective. So I think it's only fair to provide everybody an opportunity to do it, so no one is rushed, and the committee hears and listens to and understands the concerns as well as the thoughts and recommendations of all those who are interested.
Thank you, John. Any other comments from the committeemen?
Couple things real quick from Recreation, actually just reminders. The fireworks next Tuesday will begin, that's July 2nd. The DJ starts at 6, so come early. Hanover Wind Symphony will start at 8 o'clock, playing patriotic music, and the fireworks usually start around 9:15 or so. So the entertainment will actually begin at 6. Summer concert series at the Brickyard begins the following Monday, July 8th, and then will continue the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. Free summer concerts, good lineup of bands, so please put that on your calendar. Those will begin at 7 p.m. And last but not least, just a reminder for when the summer is over. On September 7th, we'll be having Hanover Township Day. That's a Saturday at Malapartis Park, beginning at noon. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Sure. Okay. All right, any other members of the committee? If not, I'd like to motion once again to open the floor for
So
public.
moved.
Second?
Moved and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the floor is open. If you'd like to address the Township Committee at this time, you can do so from the podium, giving us your name and address for the record. That's it, Joe. I'm not going to say it again. All right. Hearing none, seeing none. Motion to close?
So moved.
So moved.
And seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Committee is adjourned. Thank you.
Close, but not the record. Close, but not the record. Record stands.
I didn't beat his record, huh? That's because I answered that.
Yes.
Little late.